Hey guys, so I finally decided to attempt to play a Reaper build. A Reaper minion sounds really cool, but you pretty much can only have one minion, one main minion. And I'm gonna just say at the beginning, the clear speed is horrible. I pretty much tried all the explosion ways of playing, and there was only one good way, which was when I picked up the Gloom Shrine plus increased AoE Shrine, which gave me 60% increased AoE. Only then the explosions overlapped and felt good. All the other methods, including Chieftain, I did try this specific build with all the same items as a Chieftain for the explosions. Because if you don't know, if a minion applies a dot and the enemy dies from that dot, it counts as your kill. And this is Bleed Reaper. The single target damage is actually very surprising, very impressive. I managed to reach 14 million bleed DPS, and it's just one click, and then apply a curse and that's it. No ramp up, nothing, just one click. And yeah, it feels great for single target, but the clear speed was just so bad. Like I said, I tried multiple explosions, even like double explosions. The main problem is that you would need to scale increased AoE, and I think Reaper needs something else, some kind of rework or something else. You don't take a fish and put a fish in the boulder competition, right? You don't try to compete mountain climbing with a fish, and that's why I think Reaper is not really for clear speed. So trying to make it clear is just why even play Reaper then, you know? Because you're gonna lose damage, you're gonna have to sacrifice something trying to build Reaper for clear speed. It's just never gonna be great. It may be okay at best, but it's never gonna be good clear speed. So with that being said, I'm not gonna show too much clearing. I will show a couple of clips of different explosions, and you'll see how it looks and how it feels. But the main focus of Reaper is gonna be a single target damage, and this is a bit more on the expensive side, at least for me. This is like 20 divines build. It has many smaller pieces. There's not a single very expensive item except for the Amanamu's Gaze, which is like 8 divines. But besides that, many items are like 1 divine, 2 divines, 1 divine. To help a bit with, not really helping, but I am also using skeletons on a 5 link. I simply ran out of sockets. I'm even using Replica Maloney's mechanism quiver, which gives extra free sockets. That's where my ensnaring arrow is, because for the bleed to do full damage, the enemy needs to be moving, have a Crimson Dance or ensnaring arrow. Because with ensnaring arrow, enemies count as moving. The minions don't have Crimson Dance, so you cannot really stack 8 bleeds. You cannot rely on enemies moving, so you are pretty much forced to use a bow, which I absolutely do not like. But the bow actually also doesn't need anything special. You just pretty much take fractured level of socketed gems and then use fossil and look for open prefix to be able to craft +2 socketed support gems. And yeah, that's it. That's all you need. My Reaper, by the way, is currently level 31, but this is with the gem level 20. I am getting +3 levels from the Replica Dragonfang's flight, I believe, which was like 1 divine, level 3 empower. You can actually get even level 5 empower if you are rich. And you can push this bleed damage, I think, all the way to the bleed cap quite easily. 14-15 million bleed DPS I think is more than enough even for Ubers. For Ubers you would have over 4 million DPS. I tried Uber Shaper. I just rage quit on the last portal. It just didn't. I had skill issues. The damage was kind of okay, but I just had skill issues. This build is not very tanky, but it also has a lot of armor. I have almost 37,000 armor with no flasks. 45,000 armor with the flask. That is because this is champion and I'm pushing actually 6 auras. I have Purity of Elements, I have Determination, I have Pride, Malevolence, Aspect of the Spider, which I added the last, and also War Banner. If you want that many auras, you do kind of need to squeeze in things that have increased reservation efficiency. So I have reservation efficiency on the body armor, the Bubonic trail boots, the amulet reservation efficiency, Devouring Diadem, Enlighten, and 1 small cluster jewel, but obviously Master of Command gives damage as well. I end up at level 91. The clearing is just so bad, it's just not pleasant. I cannot stand leveling anymore, but I could get an extra 80% minion damage. I did get Elegant Hubris with 320% minion damage, and most of them are 2-pointers. So I have 80% in here, I have 80% in here, another 80% in here, and I could get another 80% in here, but that would require 3 points. And I cannot force myself to reach level 94 with this kind of clear speed. And I do have only one large cluster jewel, which isn't even perfect. You would want 35 effect, you would want 3% minion attack and cast speed. And by the way, the only way to kind of speed up, which wouldn't even be worth it, speed up clear speed would be to get a lot of attack speed for Reaper. Because Reaper is just 1 minion, even if it has explosions, even if it has bigger AoE, enemies just don't stand all together, right? We spread out. There's like a couple enemies here, a couple enemies there, a couple enemies above and below. If it kills one of them, one pack, like there's still gonna be enemies to the side. And it's just not pleasant having 1 minion. That's the main problem. But that, I assume, is nothing new to most players. Reaper was always like that. It's cool, but it's never gonna be meta, even if it has a high single target damage, simply because you spend most of the time leveling, right? And the leveling part is the worst part of this build. And bossing, you don't spend that much time unless you use something else to level up, and then use Reaper just to farm bosses. I did try the Maven's invitations, like 4 Guardians, 4 Conquerors, stuff like that. That goes really well with this build. Reaper pretty much just one-taps them. By the way, I'm using Diversion Summon Reaper to reduce the cooldown. And you can actually invest into cooldown reduction. There's a helmet enchantment, which would push the cooldown to like 2.6 seconds or something like that. You can also get CDR on belts, on boots, but I don't really think that it's worth it. You could lower the cooldown to like 2 seconds maybe, but I mean 2 seconds is still 2 seconds. Anyway, I'm gonna leave path of building import code in the description. I think I'm not even gonna go over my main items. Like, there's not much else to tell. It's just a bunch of auras and then Amanamu's gaze, which is expensive, and then yeah, pretty much that's it. As a champion, I kind of had to travel far away. I wanted to reach the reservation nodes again and reach the spiritual aid, because I thought that I will need spiritual aid to scale the explosion damage, but in the end I'm not even using any explosions. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Maybe I'm making this video a bit too late. This video will probably come out right before Diablo 4 Season 2 beginning. Maybe it's a bad time. I will try to play Diablo 4 Season 2, but the last time I played it I rage quit and uninstalled. I don't know what I'm gonna be doing next. Maybe I'm gonna be playing Diablo 4. If the improvements are good enough, I really want to try one build, to make one build work. Lighting Spear Sorceress. I'm gonna try to do that. We'll see how the leveling feels, if the game is annoying or not, if the improvements are good or not. And I did start a new build with Raider. Gonna have Berserk. It's gonna be like focused on movement speed and clear speed. So I may switch to that. I just don't know what to say. Basically, I may actually make the next video about Diablo 4, or maybe continue playing that new build and maybe switch from this to that and maybe play Diablo 4 off stream. So yeah, for now, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.